Hey y'all, welcome to P's and Q's podcast, a PaperTag collective of all things peers, queers, and artistry alike. I'm your host, Rainy B, and today I have the honor of interviewing a very special guest, Amarji King. Clap, 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 clap. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So, I want to start off this podcast. I want to ask you, okay, if you could meet one historical figure, who would it be and why?
Oh, Lord.
Anybody.
I think off the top of my head right now, I'm thinking about probably Venus Extravaganza because I just watched her documentary.
Oh.
So probably her because I feel like me and her would get along very well. We have very similar vibes, I think. So probably her. Obvious answer, like MLK or somebody like that, like a Rosa Parks or something, someone important.
Yeah, I agree.
Just ask some heavy questions,
Some deep shit.
Just cause. Yeah.
Right. So, give us a little bit of your background. Tell us about yourself, what you do, your artistry, and who you are.
All right. My name is Amarji King. I am a DJ, producer, and nightlife curator. Sometimes radio host moments, but. Yeah, I'm just a creative here based in Houston. I travel a lot, but basically I just play queer music and the umbrella that encompasses. So like ballroom, some club music, techno, house, any electronic music really. Just anything that's like for queer ears, I'm going to play.
What about go-go music?
That too, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
My fave.
absolutely.
My fave.
Absolutely.
I know it's not queer related, but my favorite genre of music is 70s disco funk.
Oh, I mean, well, that's very queer related, actually. I'm like, give me 5 minutes and I will connect them. Yeah.
How did you get started DJing?
My mom, both my parents, especially my mom, were like both really big music heads, and we're always growing up in church. I grew up in church, like I was there. I was locked in. So just being around like choirs and music in general for so long, like I just couldn't really escape the appreciation. I had like a classical training for a while, so I was like doing opera and choral studies and like was gonna go to college for all of that. But I was like, I don't think I want to do music in that way anymore. But yeah, I just grew up around music all the time. Like my mom just like really, really enjoyed good music, so I was always like in church, in the choirs, like doing all of that. So I think when I was growing up, my mom would always tell me how like she wanted to be a DJ, or like she would like she's like, if I could, I would be a DJ. And I'm like, okay, like you love DJs like so much, like let me tap in a little bit. My parents are both from Houston, but we grew up in Dallas, and so hearing them talk about like DJ Screw and like his impact was always like really cool because I felt like he was the first like DJ celebrity that I knew of, because I was like, okay, this person's also making like a really big impact in their like local community, like they're a really important person. But they also just play music. Like, why is that so important, I guess? And so as I grew older, I was like, okay, DJs are like the people that are like moving the culture.
They set the tone. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, that's so cool that someone so impactful like was in Houston. I'm like, oh, cool. Like, let me like, I don't know. I wouldn't say it made me do it, but I was definitely influenced by like that ability to like touch people by just playing music. It was really cool.
Yeah, I think the DJ is the most important person in the room.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can make the scene or you can break the scene. And if you break the scene, you better fix it real quick.
Right. Yeah, it's a very like delicate like situation to be in, because you're like, I have so much power right now.
Right.
But also I have so much power right now. It's like, it's good and bad. I'm like, I'm scared, but I'm excited. It's a lot.
Does it give you like the jitters sometimes? You have anxiety?
Oh, absolutely. And like, I feel like normally I'm like definitely an extroverted introvert. Like I honestly would rather just like sit in the corner and like watch one party, but like I'm literally the party half the time. So I'm like, okay, I have to like really... It definitely is anxiety ridden for sure sometimes, but I'm like, it's also just like the fun of it. It's like, oh my God, I might mess up. Like that's why it's so fun.
But can you really mess up though? Because I feel like as a viewer and being in that experience, you can kind of be like, all right, but then you bring it back around. Nobody ever really notices. Exactly. I want you to know that nobody notices.
Part of being a DJ is like being a lot harder on yourself than like the crowd is. But that's like, it's like, because I care, I'm like I know that wasn't right. So like I got to make sure that like next time it's like better.
Right.
That's like part of the ongoing like growth and like learning process with DJing. It's like you're always going to be like, okay, I could have done that better.
Did you always start out wanting to do larger crowds, or did you do it for fun, or you knew like right off the bat you wanted to be in the club?
Yeah, I started DJing on like Instagram Live during COVID.
Oh.
And so I would like go live like every Friday at whatever time. I'm gonna play for an hour, and then it started off as like 5 people, and then it was like 100 people, and then it was like a bigger thing. And so like, I definitely had no intention of like going straight to parties because I didn't play my first party until like 2 years into my DJing like career, I guess. But I was like solely online and making mixes for a while, or I did like I would do like those like quarantine parties, like they were on Zoom. So I did one of those before.
Holy shit, you just tapped into... I forgot about that.
Yeah, like my first party that I ever did was called Club Quarantine. And it was in a Zoom call, like maybe like 5,000 people. And I'm like, this is so stupid. I'm in my garage. You know what I mean? I'm like, y'all, like, yeah, I was in the middle of Midlothian, Texas, like in my garage. Like, I've never even seen 5,000 people at
any of these people,
yeah,
right?
I have no idea who y'all are. But it was honestly a really good experience because I was like able to practice in the safety of my own, like, my own bedroom or my own garage.
Right.
It was like giving like training wheels. It was like, okay, cool. Like, you can't really mess up because we're on Zoom, girl. Like, it's okay. Like, but...
And you can always leave. Like, you know, you fuck up.
I messed up. Okay, bye.
Log
like,
off.
We're done here.
See you next week. Were you doing it for free, or were people paying to enter?
I was doing it for free whenever it was like just like on my Instagram. But I think there were some parties I did that I was a part of that did pay, but like that wasn't for me to like figure out. But yeah, initially it was just for free. I just wanted to just like play music and
just do it.
Yeah, because I felt like I had a very like unique perspective with like DJing. So I was like, I know no one's gonna like want to hear this like off the rip, but trust me, I'm onto something. I think, you know. So I was like, I'm just gonna share it until people kind of catch on, and then I think that it'd be different. But initially it was just practice and vibes and all that.
And so I know you have a specific type of music that you like to DJ. Anybody, I feel like, could download software, play music. There's some DJs that don't even move. What makes you different from others, or what do you like every weekend when you're DJing? What do you try to do to set yourself like apart from other DJs?
Yeah, I feel like one of the good things about being in Houston is that there's so many different types of parties here.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like you really can go to the same venue even. If you go a different day out of the week, it's a totally different vibe.
Or
totally
the same
different
day.
Or even the
at the same damn time.
The same party even. If you go in a different hour, it could be like a totally different vibe.
Right.
You know? So in Houston, especially as someone who is like queer, I find it really important that like no matter where I go, no matter what the venue or space like calls for, that like you sonically know that there is a queer person like on the deck.
Right.
And so even if we're in like the hookah lounge that is not necessarily a queer space, it's like kind of like a whistle call in a sense where it's like you can hear the sounds of queerness no matter if you can see me or you know who I am or not. You're gonna always know that at least within this hour it's a queer, it's a safe space, you know. So I think for me it is really important to establish my identity no matter like what the environment is, I guess. And I think that is definitely something that makes me like unique, is that I think that there is a gay or queer version of every party format in Houston. You know what I mean?
Dope.
So
Absolutely.
I'm like, if this set calls for R&B, like, okay, cool. I'm pulling out the Brandy. I'm pulling out the Whitney. I'm pulling out, you know what I mean? Where it's like you may not know, but like,
you know,
we know what's going on.
Right.
You know, so it's like even to the smallest level, the music choice is gonna always be like a signal to other femme people, especially that gay, straight, whatever, femme presenting, that like there is someone here that not like sees you, but like, you know, I'm one of the girls too. You know? So I think that's always like really important. And I definitely think makes me like a unique DJ in Houston. Yeah.
And not even just sees you, but feels you. You know, music is the ultimate connection, in my opinion.
For sure.
So you're definitely setting your mark and setting the tone as a trailblazer. That's pretty freaking cool.
Thank you.
I want to rewind a little bit. You grew up in the church. Tell me about it.
It was fun. I think being in church is like, being in church when you're really young, I feel like just nurtures this very like, very special like spiritual like awareness. Where it's like even in like right now, I'm like, I am not someone who's like in the church, but I think that growing up around spiritual like awareness made me very intentional about like how I like met people and how I like fostered relationships and how I like met new friends, and like all these things that I think still carry with me to this day of like just being a good person, loving people, like really caring about your brother and your sister are like values that I still hold. And like especially I think about gospel music as like a genre, like objectively, I always say this, I'm like, I'm sorry, like I think that like I'm gonna always play, you know, some gospel music no matter like what happens, because that's just like who I am to my core, you know, regardless of their like personal like things. I'm like, I just love gospel music, like it's a good genre, like objectively, you know.
Well, they just put Glorilla in the didn't she just win a BET award?
I'm like if Glorilla can do it, you know, like I can do it too. So I'm just like I keep it super like objective now when it comes to like that kind of stuff. But I think growing up in church has definitely like made me a very particular kind of person. Yeah, I just like want to love and care for everyone. You know, that obviously growing up in church and being queer has its own like struggles.
That's what I was gonna ask you.
I'm like, there's layers to it,
right?
For sure. And I think I definitely have like overcome my own like journey with like the spirit, like the spiritual connection, and then like the actual practice of religion, and then like Christianity in particular, are all kind of like different things, I guess. But I have made peace with knowing that like I may not under like the practice of like church and like all that jazz, but I definitely am thankful for my time in the church.
Yeah, for sure. I can get with that because I wasn't raised in the church, but religion was part of my upbringing. Like I guess say a significant part of my upbringing. My dad's family was Baptist, and my mom's side was Jehovah's Witness, is Jehovah's Witness. So I had two crazy ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, they're very intense.
Yes, yeah. You know, focusing on being inclusive, Black women, queer spaces, trans spaces. Do you have a group, I don't want to say a group that you don't necessarily enjoy, but are you ever put in positions where you have to do a set or partake in a, and you're looking, are you looking at me? Like, okay, let me rephrase that. Give me a situation where you had to literally make the best of it due to that space or event not necessarily aligning with your work.
Yeah, I feel very fortunate now that most of the shows and the parties I do know who I am and like respect my artistry enough to like, I'm not playing anyone's like wedding. I'm not playing anyone's like,
they already know.
You know what I mean? Like you're gonna get like crazy oons at your wedding. Like I'm not like
you can do my wedding.
Right. So I think I'm thankfully I feel like I've grown out of the like rent a DJ like phase. Like I'm definitely not your like just like generic DJ. If you want me to play like boots on the ground, like that's gonna be a whole other conversation. Like I'm not playing that. You know what I mean?
So you can be picky now.
I can be, but there definitely were times where I had to just be the rent a DJ. Like it's like, oh, I know this person, and that's really it. You know. And I've definitely had some experiences, like, I mean, I feel like more like club especially, it can be very tumultuous when it comes to, DJs and then like their like artistry and that kind of stuff. Right. It's like sometimes you go to a club and they're like, can we,
oh, absolutely.
They'd be like, I don't want to hear that gay shit right now. You know what I mean? Like, that's like not the time, you know? So like, so sometimes like there are certain clubs that are like, they don't really understand what you really encompass.
The message, right.
You know what I mean? So I think that I definitely had a couple of those moments starting out where people were like, oh, can you just play like just hip hop? I'm like, I can play hip hop, but like in like a girly pop way.
Now,
like,
who was saying this? They
can be, I mean, sometimes it's the audience who like don't know who you are and they just came to like the random bar that you know and something like that. You know what I mean? Like I've had that before because like when you get like the random bar gig, sometimes like they don't really care who you are or what you've done.
Away from me.
They don't care. They came for their like lemon drop. Like they don't care about you, you know, which is fine. Like that's like that's also the reality sometimes of being a DJ, where you do kind of just like have to facilitate the space. It's not about your artistry. But I feel like now I'm at a point where all the shows that I do are very intentional and they are very like catered and they really do want to hear like the best of my niche like genres, which I love. Yeah. But yeah, it definitely was not it wasn't always that way for sure. I've had a couple of times where like either a promoter or even like someone at the bar is like just like wants to hear something like totally left field of what I'm there to bring. And that's okay, because that's also just like the reality, but I'm glad we're not there anymore. Let's just say
Call growth. Put some respect on your name, damn it.
Yeah, I'm happy we're not there anymore, for sure.
So how do you handle criticism? Not everybody is gonna enjoy your experience.
I think for me, it's about who it comes from, and then like what the circumstances were.
I love that.
It definitely depends on who it comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, like I'm not gonna take technique advice from someone other than DJ, right? But I do think that I do think that it is with discretion. You can listen to the opinions of like party goers sometimes. You know,
you enjoy feedback.
I do afterwards. I'm like, don't come and say like while I'm working and then be like, I'm like, if you're like, oh, I feel like next time you should do this, like, then I would definitely take it into consideration. I am like, I can be a hard ass sometimes though, because I'm like, I know what I want and I'm very intentional about what I do. So I'm like, if you didn't get the vibe, you didn't get the vibe sometimes. Like that's also like, that's with my discretion to be like, okay, you just weren't here on the same wave as we were. But then sometimes it's like actual notes from your people. You know?
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you ever have experiences where your sets are solely for you?
I mean, I think there's a time and place. Like, I feel like I'm so thankful now that we have spaces like Ice House Radio here in Houston where...
I'm familiar.
Period.
Yeah,
see,
familiar.
Good taste.
Yeah.
So at Ice House, they give...
That's below Echoes.
Yes. And the old car wash.
Yep, right by the gas station. Yep, I'm very familiar.
So at Ice House, they'll plan like a whole night. It'll be like from 8 until 11 or something. And every hour is a different DJ. And the whole purpose is for that DJ to control the hour. There's no overarching theme of the party. There's no dress code or anything like that. It's like, this is your hour.
Okay.
If you want to play like smooth jazz for an hour, you can do that. If you want to play hard rock for an hour, you can do that. If you want to spin an all vinyl techno set with no headphones, with your hands tied behind your back, you can do that.
See, I thought they had themes.
It literally is like, these are the programming for tonight.
Okay.
They do events where they will like take over like a spot, so there might be like an overarching theme sometimes, but usually it's like this our Thursday lineup, this our Friday lineup, this our Saturday. If you know these DJs, come support them, but if you trust us, just come. Yeah. And that's usually, so I think there are spots like that have the credibility to say like, just come and enjoy the music. That's what it's about. If you enjoy good music, just trust us. We picked good DJs. They're going to get you going, you know? Right. So there's places like that where I'm like, I love Ice House because I know that without a doubt, at least on my slot, on my Friday, whatever, I'm going to get to play the craziest
free game,
the craziest thing that I want to play. And I think with DJing, there's like, you have to find the balance of like playing for yourself and playing for others. Even within a set, if I'm playing for like a club, whatever, I always do like this DJ named Oria in Austin. They told me like, I'm going to do 2 for you and 2 for you. I'm going to do 1 for you. Or like depending on the club, it's like, that's when you really find the balance. So like there are certain clubs where I'm like, okay, I can do 5 for me and 1 for you, and y'all will still be here, and that's great. Like Boondocks is like one of those spots where I can definitely do like a 2 for me, 1 for you moment. Like it's mostly for me, but I like every now and then I can definitely.
I'm entertain you.
You know what I mean? But like that's a club where like they really do value like artistic like excellence, and like they want you to really push yourself. So in those environments, I know that I can definitely like explore more and do more and whatever. But then there are some clubs where it's like you need to play the top 40, whatever. Again,
top 40 is crazy work.
Again, like glad we're not there anymore. You know, glad we're not there. But like those places definitely do exist where like you are not important here. You're just the DJ. So it's funny because like at some clubs you're just a DJ, and then other clubs you're like you're the DJ. You know, so it just kind of depends on what the vibe is for that club.
What's your number one most requested, like, mainstream song? Or artist?
It depends. Whenever Drake drops Nokia, I was like, it was giving, like, the Bad Bunny effect, where, like, everyone just wanted to hear that one song, and, like, you know what I mean? It was giving, like, it was just giving that, which I hate, like, I cannot stand, but I feel like that would be the only, recently that I can remember, that's when the only, like, request that I get is Nokia.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is I openly despise that song, but it is literally my ringtone. Like, I purchased it on Apple ringtones for $1.29. And if you ask me,
$1.29 is crazy.
No, you what? Okay, quick.
I'm like, inflation is crazy.
Quick story. I was trying to set it as my ringtone, right? I haven't had a ringtone in some years. This was like the last 2-3 months. I purchased the song on Apple Music on accident, thinking it was the ringtone. Thinking I could set it as my ringtone, and I could not.
That's not how that works.
I was so frustrated I couldn't figure it out. Like, I'm talking Reddit threads, Google, WikiHow. I took my ass. I physically drove my car to the Apple store in River Oaks and told them something was wrong. And he said, ma'am, you purchased the wrong version. And so not only did I pay the actual song on Apple Music, I then went and purchased the actual ringtone. And the ringtone, might I add, is not Drake's original version. It's like an Arabian man. Like, who's calling my phone? Who's calling my phone? It's dead ass my ringtone.
It not being Drake is low key, like, that's crazy.
Like, who's calling that shit? Who's calling that phone? So do I like the song? No. Is it my ringtone? Yeah.
It's okay. There's levels. There's levels.
And it was $1.29 plus tax. So, yeah. And the Apple people were like, you really drove out of your way to come.
No, as soon as you walked away, they were like, y'all will not believe this. They were like, y'all won't believe what I just want to deal with it.
Tell me, let's dive into a little bit of the past. Tell me about your experience with, is El Dorado Ballroom? And how that ties into your DJ work.
So I was there whenever they first reopened the building. Just as like the DJ for the opening, like, gala moment. And yeah, I just worked the team a couple of times since then, but I've just always just kind of like been in their little community bubble. I've gone to a bunch of events there. Like, I did like their Little Women Pride event there as well. I've played there like three or four times now. Okay. Yeah, but they're like amazing people, very like community like center, which obviously like I love. So they're like amazing.
It's a beautiful space.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful space.
And there's like the history in this space is just always, honestly like so impactful. Yes. So I'm always honored when I get to like perform there because I'm just like, wow, this is such a historic moment. Yeah.
Absolutely. Our nonprofit creator, Ms. Dom Green, she just recently went to the Solange Collective, the performance there, and we have some PaperTag. I think there's a link on our Instagram with some back history on the ballroom. It's a pretty cool space. I didn't know much about it because I'm not from Houston, but you know, you learn a lot. But speaking of that, Screw Day just passed. I just learned about that. Speaking of DJ, and 713 Day is coming up. I'm like, very excited. Houston has a lot of historic spaces, a lot of historic places, and a lot of historic people. Where are some of your favorite Houston spaces? Whether to DJ or to not DJ. Okay. Just to experience that you've been.
Just to experience. That one's interesting. My brain right now is thinking clubs, so I'm gonna say club answers.
Where's that?
I'm thinking of like clubs that I like.
We should trademark that. Club answers. I like that.
I think for dancing, Boondocks is also obviously a good answer. Numbers is also a good answer. R.I.P. But there is a bar called Sixes and Sevens. Was.
Look at everybody. Oh, yes, that is our spot.
Yes. Sixes was like really important for a lot of the DJs here. I feel like, I think that right now Houston's kind of going through a little like renaissance of sorts where like we definitely are seeing this new round of DJs and creatives like really, have a lasting impact like on the city and like it's and sonically it's like changing as well. And Sixes was like this space that definitely like encouraged the new wave of like DJ culture. Yeah. And it's like there was no other place in Houston where you can hear like club music like Jersey Club or Footwork or like Juke or anything like that on like a Thursday or a Wednesday. It would be like a random Tuesday and like they'll book like me or someone.
Oh really yeah, it was lit.
And it's like, why is the door wide open on Tuesday? Because we can't all fit in here. It's like it was like giving like that. Yeah. So I think that was like one of those places where I was like, wow, like Houston is like the girl. Yeah. You know,
Sixes and Sevens to me, my first experience there was like that SpongeBob episode when was it Gary was having the party with the jellyfish,
Oh,
and
yeah,
it was
like,
booming.
yeah.
You could feel it.
Yeah.
Like you can't really escape it. Like and it's a small space. So yeah, it definitely makes you feel, and that is a space that I to piggyback off you, that I enjoy, because it's not such a large venue physically where you can't feel one with the DJ. Does that make any sense? Like I could literally be like, "What's up? How are you?" You know, you're right here at me. Where I've been to some places where it doesn't feel as personal because they're like up on the grand stage or whatever, just playing music. But that was like almost like a house party. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
That's literally what I say
Yes.
every time when I would describe the vibe there. It was giving like curated house party vibes, where it's like, and if you go to Sixes long enough or often enough, you would definitely see the same people or like the same.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like all my friends are here. It was giving like neighborhood community like vibe.
So I want to ask you about the House of Lepore. Tell me about it.
So the House of the Poor is a ballroom house and collective based in Austin, Texas.
Oh, okay.
Founded by Baby Boy, Baby Doll, and Natalie Lepore. Obviously, if you know anything about ballroom, there's like a house system where
No.
basically in ballroom, it will be. So ballroom is like a competition and community like group. Usually it's based like by the state. It started in New York and has kind of traveled its way all throughout the country, all over the world now. There are ballroom scenes in Brazil, Japan, New Zealand, literally like basically anywhere you can think of gay people congregating, there is probably a ballroom scene there. But at these balls, houses send their members out to compete in different categories. So it can be like Vogue Femme, it can be Face, Runway.
Oh, so this is
Realness.
voguing then.
Voguing is a part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, voguing is a part of it. That's like one section of the ball. So the ball has like a bunch of different categories. So one popular category is like face. So you see the girls like kind of comparing faces, saying like I'm more pretty than her, blah 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 blah, that kind of stuff. And then there's voguing, there's runway, there's realness, there's so many other like categories. But basically in ballroom, there's like different categories that you walk, and everyone kind of is a part of a house. Houses are like governed by like a house mother and house father. It's a whole system of like queer.
So this is
people.
like would be similar or representation of Pose,
Right.
the FX show.
So in Pose, it was a breakdown of like the ballroom system and like what it was back then. It's a little different now, but in many ways it's kind of the same ethos. Like there's a mother, there is a father, there are children, blah 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 blah. But obviously it originated in New York. Here in Texas, we have a ballroom scene as well, and so the House of the Poor is like one of the first ballroom houses in Texas to kind of like also do like club kit stuff as well.
Oh, okay.
Because like oftentimes it's two very separate spaces, like ballroom and like club
Right.
world. And so when I was getting introduced to the ballroom scene around like 2021, 22, I joined a house here initially, but then as I became aware of the House of the Poor, I saw they had a really big presence in the club scene as well. Like they had DJs in the house, and I had never really seen that before in Texas. And I was like, hey, I think these girls are like on my vibe. So
yeah.
most people that are in the house meet just from being outside, like in the club, whatever. But then we also take ourselves into the ballroom world and kind of like carry in that way.
Right.
And so it is really cool to have like a house mother who understands that like what DJing and like actually walking balls like means, because it's usually two very different worlds. So
That is really cool.
yeah, I really pride myself as a DJ of being someone who is like actually in ballroom,
Right.
and not just like playing the sounds of ballroom, because I feel like ballroom has become a very popular genre of music, and so obviously there are very popular edits and very popular sounds. Like everyone wants to hear the crash, everyone wants to add a crash to their edit. But I think it is very important and special to have a DJ who is actually in ballroom, you know?
Yeah.
Like, cause it's a community. It's like a community, it's a lifestyle, and it's a culture. It's not really something that you can just like add to a song or add to a thing. It's like, you can't really fake it, you know? Like it's a real life experience that people have, especially here in the South. Like the ballroom scene is like so tight knit. So it's like, it means a lot more for them to see someone on a bigger stage who's actually like in the community.
Within that community.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because it happens all the time where like even straight men, like they'll play like ballroom tracks. I'm like, you literally have never been to a ball in your life. Like you actually don't. You know what I mean?
You don't even belong here.
You don't even, I'm like, get out of here. So yeah, I think it's really important that like people that want to use like the sounds and
Mhm.
the culture and the vocabulary and like all that stuff are actually a part of the communities that they're talking about and like they're referencing. you
Right.
know?
So speaking of straight men,
Oh, the words.
speaking of straight men, I would assume that a lot of your experiences and a lot of, like you said, ballroom and being able to DJ and be a part of that, you use social media as a tool, I'm assuming.
Mhm.
And straight men find these things on the internet at
Mhm.
some point. Does social media help you or does it harm you in any way as far as just your tight knit community
Mhm.
and like separately you as a person and DJing?
It's a double-edged sword for sure because I
Mhm.
feel like, I mean, if we didn't post our flyers on Instagram, who's gonna show up,
It's
right?
true.
And especially with like queer people, we find safe haven like in these online communities where it's like I think about me personally, like I grew up in Midlothian, Texas.
That's
You
crazy.
don't even know, like no one even knows where that's
How
at.
do you say it again?
Midlothian, Texas.
Midlothian?
Midlothian.
Midlothian.
Yeah.
What is the major city?
It's like an hour away from Dallas.
Midlothian. I'm
hmm
gonna have to look that up.
And it's like horses and cows and all that stuff. Like it's really it's a lot.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
But yeah, like I discovered ballroom like while living out there, and it's like
Mhm.
obviously there's no ballroom community in Midlothian, Texas, but
Right.
it was very comforting to know that like they're here in the world, they're here in the country, they're here in my state, they're here in my city
Mhm.
if I travel far enough. So it means something for people who are actually looking for that safe haven to be able to discover it
And use the
online.
internet.
Yeah,
Right.
and like find the community.
Right.
Obviously, that means that the same internet is being used by like straight men who don't really know any better,
Mhm.
or culture vultures, even within the queer community. I'm like, ballroom is like a predominantly, not exclusively, but a predominantly like Black and brown community,
Mhm.
and so sometimes you have like people who don't really understand the impact that it has. They just want to use like the lingo, or they just want
Right.
to use like like the effects and like all that stuff, and it's like,
Right. You can say it. White people taking up space.
yeah, we're
Yes.
like they don't really need to.
Mhm.
And I feel like another big part of like being in ballroom is like giving community resources out. So
Right.
it's like there, if I didn't have ballroom, I wouldn't know where to get my hormones from. I
Mhm.
wouldn't know where to get my surgeries from. I
Mhm.
wouldn't know who to call. I wouldn't know who to ask, like whatever. Like when I was going through like my first round of surgeries, like my house mother helped me throughout the entire process.
That's incredible.
Where my parents, my like biological parents, had no idea what was going on. They
Mhm.
don't know nothing because like
Mhm.
why would they know
Mhm.
anything about like trans surgeries, stuff
Right.
like that. And
Someone
so
to mentor you
yeah,
and essentially raise you up.
and another reason why I love the House of the Poor is because my house mother. Normally, like I feel like there's, I don't know, House of Lepore, like Natalie Lepore is like a special woman, like through and through and through.
Shout out to Natalie.
Shout out to Natalie. She
Yeah.
is like she's impacted my life in like so many ways. But I think just like seeing her be a very strong woman and like see her lead her community the way that she does, while
Mhm.
also working, while also having her own children, while also like being like a working artist as well. Where I'm like, I'm seeing a trans woman like really take over
Mhm.
her community. Okay, cool. Like, and not only do I see her, but I have access to her to ask her like, what would you do in this scenario? What do you
Right.
do? Like, so when I was getting my surgery, stuff like that, she really helped me so much. And like, that's the whole point. And so people don't really understand that like it's an actual culture and like lifestyle
Yeah.
that people live. So like, it's not just enough to be like, clock that T, whatever. It's like not about that. It's like there's so much more than just the voting or just
Mhm.
the ball. It's like these are people whose like livelihoods are like being affected
Absolutely.
positively by this community like
Right.
organization or group, or like there are some houses that are like nonprofits who like stand as like a community center for people to come and
Okay.
get resources, like stuff like that. So these entities are really important to the Black and brown like community,
Mhm.
whether it be in Texas or just at large. So yeah, answer your question. The internet is great because
Right.
we can find each other, but then also it means that like everyone else can
It
find us
opens
too.
up,
Mhm.
yeah, space and
So
opportunity.
so there's a balance to be had for sure. I think like
Mhm.
education around those things are also really important to like let people know that like there is more to us than just like hacking our nails or like doing whatever. It's like there actually are people who are like getting what they need and like
Right.
living full lives
Right.
based on just
Literal
this.
aid.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the next part of your question, as like a DJ,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like so like in one hand, I'm like ballroom is a culture, it's a people, it's a lifestyle, it's whatever. And then on the other hand, as a DJ, I see ballroom as like a genre.
Mm-hmm.
Where like there are very significant like tracks in ballroom that people know. We all know the ha, we all know like all these different references and like sounds that we hear
Right.
in ballroom music that has like evolved over time, and it's interesting to contribute to the changing like sonic landscape that ballroom has right now. Where
Right.
like obviously if I play a ballroom track from like 50 years ago and I play it now, it's gonna sound very different. Like there are producers like Byro the Great, DJ Delish, who are like very influential producers in the scene who are
Mm-hmm.
making like really innovative music.
Mm-hmm.
And so on one hand, it is just like it's a culture, it's whatever, but it also is like its own genre and its own like ever changing like sonic
Okay.
experience, which I am happy to like contribute in both ways. Too.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to dig into that a
Yes,
little bit.
tap into Byro the Great, tap into
Yeah.
DJ Delish, tap into Fauna Lord, tap into JJ Cabana, tap into Akasha, tap
Okay.
into I'm thinking of other girls.
Yeah,
Tap
we'll have to
into
drop their
yeah,
handles.
tap into Amarji King.
Yes, Amarji King.
Yeah, there are so many girls that really do it, and then even like there are like rappers who are like in the ballroom scene. I think about like Baby Doll is like a very like important rapper down in Austin
Mm-hmm.
who like regularly incorporates their ballroom identity into her music. So it's like stuff like that. Like it's like it's so many different
It's
things.
its own
Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
it's really is like a whole different world than it's like the regular gay like experience. Like
Right.
being in ballroom, like you can tell when someone is in ballroom and when they're just like at the gay bars. You know what I mean? It's like two
Okay.
very different people.
I need you to send me this on Instagram, like
Yeah.
drop the DM so that I can start like really paying attention.
Yeah, I got you.
And knowing like, cause I want to be able to be like, yeah, they're
Yeah,
poser.
yeah.
You in ballroom, bitch.
Because then it's like you'll like be at a bar and you hear a crash, and like honestly, hearing a crash at a bar when like it's not when it's like not a ballroom person, it's like some straight man at the bar.
Yeah.
It's like the most like scary feeling because I'm like, I hear my people,
but I
but
don't see my people.
I don't understand what's going on.
Oh my goodness. So what, if anything, within the queer community here in Houston has inspired you or currently inspires you?
Mhm. I think right now the queer community in regards to what I am in, more of like the club space, the girls that roll with me, like I feel like right now Houston is so integrated, whether it be like race, gender, sexuality. I played at Bald Kitty this past weekend.
That's our spot.
And I played in a Amarji King set. Like there was ballroom, there was Jersey Club, there was juke, there was like house, there was like all these genres.
Were we there? Were y'all there? No, we didn't go.
I'm like, well, I'll see you there at some point. But yeah, I definitely played like an Amarji King set. Like I played all the genres that I love and that make me who I am as a DJ. And it's like I'm seeing the girls that I see at the rave. I see the girls that I see at like the hookah lounge. I see the girls that be at 6 and 7s. Like I'm seeing all these people that like normally are in very isolated groups. Suddenly we're all together
coming into the space.
And then even if it wasn't at Bald Kitty, like at 6 and 7s, like I'm seeing all these girls that are people who go to everything. They're a part of everything. I've played at Neighbors before. And like that's not a queer spot, but it's like suddenly for this 1 hour, like every gay person in town knows where to show up to, you know? So we're very integrated here, which I think is really a really cool thing that like I feel like there is access to different kinds of experiences for people out here. It's like, yes, we're queer, but like we also can take over
any space.
Yeah. I think that's really cool that like Houston as a city really does acknowledge and supports the local DJs here enough to trust them with their venues, which is like an issue that I see for so many other cities.
Tell us, Margie, what's next for you?
What's next for me is obviously I'm going to continue DJing. I have so many more like plans I want to do for the city. I do Club Sugar, which is like my party that I throw. So obviously I'm going to continue like growing and
where is that?
Club Sugar is a traveling party throughout the city. So it can be anywhere, but usually we're at Boondocks.
Okay.
Every second Saturday. It does change every now and then. We might do like a random one, you know, somewhere else. But I like to keep the venues fresh, but it travels throughout the city. But usually at Boondocks, it's like an open format, kind of queer, censored, protected dance floor, basically, where we work in tangent with the venue to make sure that anyone that's in the space is protected and is seen and cared for.
We love safe spaces.
Yes, we really do. And I'm very, very serious about that too. I'm like, I talk to venue owners, I talk to your boss. I'm like, we're gonna make sure that like any girl that comes in here, anyone that comes in here is like protected. So that's always important for me. I'm working on new music. I always am producing new stuff, but I'm in the process of making like an EP, maybe album vibe. It was like constructed or deconstructed ballroom music. Like I just did like a chopped and screwed ballroom edit. So so we're kind of just like trying to merge the worlds of like Southern music with like ballroom and just like its ever growing like identity, I guess we can do. Because I think right now there's so much really good music coming out of Houston that I want to contribute it, but like in my way.
I like that.
You know, so
if you need a lyricist, I'm here for you as well.
I got you.
I can freestyle.
Period.
So DJ Rainy Rain.
Like I'll have you know, I'm actually just
I got hidden talents over here. I got hidden talents.
But yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. We're just like making more music, doing more work. Yeah, I also work with Dollcore. Dollcore is like a kind of grassroots mutual aid fundraiser here that we do in Houston, where we work with different venues to throw events that in the efforts of like raising mutual aid funds for trans women in the city, whether that's to get them on HRT, to get them housing, to get them like travel assistance, whatever they may need. Basically, we try to like have a well of coin for them to like tap into when needed.
Yeah. That's incredible.
Yeah.
How can our viewers find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Amarji King, AMARJI_KING. You can find Club Sugar at Club Sugar. You can find Dollcore at Dollcore HTX.
And where's Boondocks?
Boondocks
in the city
is on Westheimer in the Montrose area.
Okay, cool. I'll be there.
Yes.
I was kind of asking for myself.
Shout out Boondocks. Yeah.
Thank you so much for being with us today. It's an honor talking with you. We're going to have you again.
Please.
Yeah,
please.
I feel like there's so many things we didn't get to tap into.
We could do like a whole other round.
Yes,
yeah, for sure.
This studio space be costing money, but I'll make it work.
I'll come back. I'll come back for you, for sure.
You put me on a track, then we can start making some coin.
Okay, I see.
And we can get more studio time.
And feed it back into itself. I see. Now you're thinking.
Yes, we'll help each other. Thank you.